From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Hot and humid again today, but mixed in with a line of showers and thunderstorms that move through during the midday hours. Those are all out of the TV6 viewing area now as they continue to push away from mid-Michigan. A couple other cells to our northwest near Grand Rapids, but nothing too terribly strong. These should continue to slowly weaken as we lose a few degrees from our daytime highs. Speaking of those temperatures, 91 still in Alma, 74 though as that storm moved through Grand Rapids, 93 in Mount Pleasant. Of course, that adds quite a bit to what it feels like. 97 for Alma and Mount Pleasant, feels like 87 now in Lansing as we begin to heat things back up. Forecast-wise for tonight, dry weather, temperatures near 70 by early tomorrow morning with partly cloudy skies on the way. One more really hot day, then big changes start to move in. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, the latest on the serial stabbing in Traverse City that injured almost a dozen people. Plus, the Michigan Boy Scout now being called a hero for helping to save a life on Mackinac Island. And it happened again, a superstar caught on the Coldplay Kiss Cam. Those stories and a lot more in all in the first 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's go ahead and start that clock. And we begin with continuing coverage of the mass stabbing that sent nearly a dozen people to a hospital in Traverse City. We are now learning the suspect was wanted in Emmett County the day before the attack. Bradford Gilly is accused of stabbing 11 people Saturday evening at a Walmart before being stopped by a group of witnesses who confronted him in the parking lot. His previous run-ins with police include a 2016 incident where he's accused of digging up and damaging a grave. The charges were dropped after a judge ruled him not guilty by reason of insanity. At least one of the stabbing victims has since been released from a hospital, while another is in serious condition. Gilly is facing multiple charges, including terrorism and assault with intent to murder. In Oakland County, one woman is dead and a 1-year-old had to be taken to a hospital after a crash in a convenience store parking lot. State police say it happened yesterday evening around 6:30 in Holly Township. A 29-year-old woman was holding her 1-year-old child while putting another inside her Ford Explorer when police say she was run over by a man driving a large truck pulling out of the spot next to her. The woman was pronounced dead in the parking lot while the toddler was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The truck driver is said to be a 72-year-old man who investigators believe was under the influence of narcotics. Tonight, a 14-year-old Boy Scout is being called a hero after saving a tourist on Mackinac Island. After finishing a 3-hour shift near Fort Mackinac, Kenny Recor of Lowell noticed a man suffering a heart attack. He leaped into action, alerting people nearby, made sure someone called 911, and asked where the nearest automated external defibrillator device was. Then he took off to find his scout leader to get more aid despite his asthma. Thanks to an off-duty nurse who performed CPR, the man never needed a shock from the AED. Recor says his CPR training as a Boy Scout made a difference, and he hopes more people learn it as well.
The situation I was put in could happen to anyone, and if people know how to do these things, I think a lot more lives can be saved.
Kenny is now attending the Boy Scouts National Youth Leadership Camp, where he says he hopes to build on the very skills he used on Mackinac Island. Lawmakers in Minnesota are looking for answers tonight after a naked man got into the state's Senate after hours. Officers say it happened Friday night, and the man returned 2 more times before police arrested him. This comes just over a month after the assassination of Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband and the attempted assassination of a state senator and his wife. A former lawmaker tells our local affiliate that he would like to see security checkpoints installed at the Minnesota Capitol. Minnesota State Patrol says they're investigating how the man got in, but says he did not break in. Well, that's not the only story from a state capitol that involves nudity. To Oklahoma now, where the state superintendent of schools is denying that he was watching images of naked women in his office during a state school board meeting. That's after 2 members of the board said they saw the images during a closed session. One confronted Superintendent Ryan Walters, who says he turned off the TV without acknowledging or apologizing. Walters has now released a statement calling it, quote, categorically false and politically motivated. A group celebrating the United States' upcoming 250th birthday is launching a project to collect stories from across the country. The initiative is called Our American Story, and it aims to create the largest ever archive of personal stories to be added to the Library of Congress. To do so, it's partnering with Walmart and using Airstream trailers outfitted with video and audio recording equipment. The group also says some of the interviews will be available online through platforms outside of the Library of Congress. It happened again. Caught on the kiss cam at a Coldplay concert, although the man on the cam was there with his wife. It was soccer superstar Lionel Messi with his spouse Antonella Roccuzzo. They went to check out the famous band in Miami last night. Fans chanted Messi's name while Coldplay's lead singer Chris Martin sang to the couple. As many of you know, the Coldplay kiss cam caught a CEO with his arms wrapped around his HR chief, who was not his wife, at a concert in Boston the other week. And a big surprise at a different concert. That's after Beyonce was joined by Michelle Williams and Kelly Rowland for the final night of the Cowboy Carter Tour in Las Vegas. For those of you who need a little refresher, Beyonce got her start with Williams and Rowland in a band called Destiny's Child. Fans screamed at the surprise performance where the trio did a melody of the band's greatest hits. We'll take a look at this. The fluffy critter on your screen is a broad-toothed rat, also known as pygmy wombats. That's at least what an Australian wildlife sanctuary in New South Wales is calling its two newest babies. The broad-toothed rat is native to high-altitude swamps and is facing extinction because of predators like cats and foxes, according to Aussie Ark. The sanctuary says it is determined to save the species from extinction through a breed and rewilding program. They're also trying to save the horses in South Carolina. It's getting so hot in the city that officials have canceled horse-drawn carriage tours in Charleston. The temps are in the upper 90s there, and with the heat index, it feels even higher. The city requires tour operators to stop operations when it gets above 95. Workers at one company have even moved all the horses inside. They're also providing water, fans, and shade to keep their most important employees comfortable. David, got to do what you got to do for sure.
No, horses need to stay cool too.
Yeah, I got my kids some squirt guns at Meijer the other day, and we had them out today, and they were squirting me, and I had to pretend like I didn't like it. You know, like, oh no, don't squirt me. But I loved it because I was trying to cool off.
Yeah,
it's hot.
Yeah, we you know, my daughter's had a water gunner too.
Yeah.
But I'm still a pretty fast runner, so she can't quite catch me yet.
No? Got the super soaker?
No, we had a super soaker today move through.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, had some showers and storms, got more in the forecast, and one more hot day.
Oh, then relief.
It's on the way.
You're